This week, we're traveling back to 2007, tuning up a battered guitar, wheeling a broken vacuum through Dublin, and discovering how much can change when two strangers find the right chord. Written and directed by John Carney, once stars Glen, Hansard, and Markéta Irglová. I have no idea if I said that right.
I'll give it.
As an Irish busker and Czech immigrant whose chance meeting becomes an intensely personal songwriting partnership. Did this modest little melody still strike an emotional chord, or is it barely worth watching once? Barely worth watching once.
It is worth watching.
That's a double entendre.
It is. I forgot. Let me real quick.
You didn't. You didn't, right? Well, Andy, while you do that, we do have a sponsor for this episode.
Good,
so let me go ahead and you look that up.
That beautiful piano in the music shop could be yours through falling slowly adjustable rate piano loans. No deposit and no credit history required. Your payments begin quietly, and then they rise with each emotionally significant key change. But miss 3 installments and we send an Irish thug to repossess the instrument, while a polite Czech woman plays a devastating dirge while we haul it away. Ready for your own baby grand? Or is a standard upright better for your flat? Contact us today, and you'll be tickling the ivories in 2 to 3 business days.
That's so lovely.
It's sad because the reason we're talking about this is a sad thing, but it
really is
a decent, funny commercial.
The reason that we actually brought it back up was, which is, there's a little bit of irony in this, by the way, in the fact that we saw Power Ballad, which is a John Carney film, and immediately after, I liked it so much, and I remembered once, and remember how much I liked once, that I started going back and watching all of his movies, all John Carney's movies. And then
July 29th.
Brought back into the consciousness with the unfortunate passing of Glen Hansard, which we can talk about after we kind of go through the movie real quick, and then we can talk a little bit about him.
Devastated. As the Europeans would say, I was gutted when I heard this.
Yeah.
Real quick, Rotten Tomatoes does have this thing, Gary, sitting currently at 97 with the critics and 91 with the audience. This thing, if you've never seen it, is a spectacular film. Is it for everybody? I don't know, but if you like a good drama with a great soundtrack, this is a fantastic movie. Glen and Markéta are perfect for this film.
Yeah.
I read a little bit about it. So she was already cast for she was not cast for the film. Carney was writing this film. He was talking to Glen about doing some music for the film because Glen had done the replacements or the commitments. Jesus Christ. It's what time is it?
Hello. It's morning.
Anyway, he'd been in the commitments. Glen Hansard, famously a busker from Dublin, Ireland, who was well known in the area, did the commitments, and then John Carney had asked him to help him out with some songs. And he just couldn't quite find the right guy. And he's like, you should do this.
Well, the movie was originally going to be a bigger movie with a bigger budget.
Right.
They had Cillian Murphy
that's it.
He was going to be the guy. Cillian Murphy's thing, from what I've seen, he felt like he couldn't convincingly play the songs on camera. And so when he left the film as a result, that's when the budget dropped significantly. And Carney was pressuring Hansard to kind of he'd already had the acting experience, like you said, with the commitments.
Yeah. And the replacements.
And those too.
So anyway, it's a wonderful movie. It pulls at your heartstrings, and it's got a wonderful soundtrack. A soundtrack that I think years later, I think they won an Oscar for the best song for the soundtrack. If you have that in front of you, Gary, I know he won a Grammy when it came out as a stage play. They won a Tony or something like that. I don't have it all in front of me, but I believe they won an Oscar for this one. No,
they went on to win the Academy Award for Best Original Song.
Yeah,
defeating 3 songs from Disney's Enchanted, as well as Raise It Up from August Rush.
Yeah. So again, if you haven't seen this, you should, especially if you're into music. Great songwriting and a really decent performance, and that's a really good story. personally, we can drift away from that. I'm a huge fan of Glen Hansard. Became a fan of Glen Hansard around 2011, 2012 ish. When I saw him open for Eddie Vedder, my beloved is a huge Pearl Jam Eddie Vedder fan, and we went to see Eddie Vedder's solo tour in Memphis, Tennessee. Glenn was opener. I had no idea who Glen Hansard was. I had not seen once. I knew nothing about this guy. I'd seen the Commitments and didn't put it together.
Yeah.
And it's one of the same. You'll have the same memory, Gary. The same feeling is same thing we saw Brian Vander Ark.
Okay.
I saw him perform, and as I'm watching him, every song to me got better. I was like, "There's no way I don't know who this guy is. How is this possible?"
Yeah.
Because of I love music. You love music, and when he ended his show, a standing ovation, this crowd, I went straight out to the lobby and bought the CDs he had available. I was like, now I'm obsessed. And I've seen him so many times since because he always plays, he'll play with Pearl Jam or play with Eddie. My wife and I go to a music festival every year in September in California called Ohana Fest that's put on by Eddie Vedder. Glenn always plays at it. Even that build, he just shows up and plays. And him and Eddie always end up doing Falling Slowly at the end of the show, which is always a fun thing. And then I've traveled to see Glenn solo concerts here and there. And I was very lucky to see Glenn in Dublin, Ireland. A long story to get there, but we saw him perform in his hometown, which was wonderful. But his death, when it came, Teresa called me. I was asleep. She was out of town, and she called, and just her words was, she's like, "Glenn has died." And I just shot up out of bed. I'm like, I knew who she was talking about. And
you didn't think it could be Butch Walker?
I did not.
Sorry. That's me adding a little light on it.
Because she would, if she went by calling my Glenn, that'd blow my mind. But yeah, that totally just took the wind out of me. Like, there were those things. Yeah. And we know people are going to go like, people die every day, blah, blah, blah. And police officers. Yes, I understand that. Artists have a different place for us because we feel like we know them. And especially if you're a fan of a real big fan of the artist, because you spent your life for the better part knowing these artists. I mean, I'll be devastated when the members of Kiss die or Night Ranger die or something happens to Butch Walker. I mean, these things will break you because you're never going to see it live again. You know that, and it just feels like part of you has died because you've known you listen to this music or songs, or you watch an actor in so many movies or whatever it may be. It kind of ingrains into your DNA. So, yeah, that was tough. It was really hard for me.
Yeah. Well, you personalize that stuff to a degree, especially when it feels like it's a part of you.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like a friend passed.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't follow Glenn's music too much. I've been kind of a distant fan. I loved this movie when I saw it. I love the music from it, and I would listen to this a lot. I didn't follow listening to a bunch of his solo stuff, but I would hear it every now and then. I'd put something on, but more when I was in the mood for it. But I always wanted to see him live. I always thought, because in that scene, and once the first time he plays in the beginning, I don't know if it's live, but it feels live when he's playing that song at night, the one he plays at night in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's strong. It's like when I worked at when I worked at the radio stations, we'd have artists come in and they perform right in front of us.
Yeah.
In the room. And so you're getting the people at their rawest. There's no studio. There's no plugging up. This is an acoustic guitar and somebody singing
in a conference room.
In a conference, exactly. And it's so much, the experience is so much different. You can really see the talent. And I feel like that moment in that movie is him playing live in that moment. And it's very strong.
Yeah.
Like it cuts through. It reminds me a lot of that time period. And so I knew that if I'd seen him live, it'd be a great show. You've talked about him, seeing him, how great it is. And I'm like, I want to see it. I never had a chance to. And I never will, which is sad.
It's one of those things, you and I, we know it because we've done it. We've traveled to see shows, and I tell people all the time. So those who don't know me, I travel a lot for concerts, 5 hours, 8 hours. I'll do it. And you've done it, and music's very important to us, and we talk about it. And I got kind of instilled it in my daughter, but I tell people all the time, like, when they'll say to me, like, why would you drive to Atlanta for a concert? I was like, because that's where the concert is. And to me, that's important. I want to see the show. That I want to build that memory. Glen, I saw him at the Taft down there, Gary, in Cincinnati. And I have video of it on my phone, which was, I went straight to it when I heard he died. And he's one of these guys, and we've seen this with Butch before, Gary, where he's playing the last song of the night and he's shooting for the fucking moon.
Yeah.
He's going all out.
Leaving it on the stage. Yeah.
And like he leaves, he's broken strings on the guitar, and he's just screaming. The mic hits the ground because he doesn't even need it anymore. He's just going to scream at the top of his lungs. And then when he walks off the stage, the guitar's just laying there, like the battle is over and I won.
Yeah.
But I'm exhausted. And like, you know, until you see something like that live, you don't understand. When you see it, like, and you're in it with him. You're like,
right.
Oh my God, like it's because it's building. And he just keeps going. And that's what Glen was. If you ever saw his famous guitar, it's all wore out.
Right.
Because he played it with such a passion and a vigor. And it just meant everything to him. You know, he left school when he was like 13 or 14 years old because his passion to play overrode his ability to pay attention in school. And his school headmaster literally told him, you should leave this and pursue busking on the streets of Dublin, because this isn't working for you.
Yeah.
And I saw an interview where he went back and talked to him and that teacher or headmaster were sitting together at a table. And the interviewer asked him, like, did you really told him to leave? He goes, yeah, you could see it then. He was meant for more than sitting in a classroom.
Yeah.
And we were holding him back. So literally, like, he was like 13, 14 years old, and he quit school. He's like, I'm going to make it, or I will just die on the streets of Ireland. It's amazing.
Crazy.
Like,
yeah,
I wanted to make it, but I wasn't going to give up my job, my car, my apartment.
You know, that's
dating my girlfriend. I was like,
That's the thing I think about stuff like that, stories like that makes me wonder. I'm not going to be self-reflective. This is a poor time. I'm just going to say that I wonder if I ever had the drive that these people have to do this, because they pretty much just put their whole life into it, and I've never taken that leap, to do anything. So, and
Once is basically getting back to Once. That's kind of that same story. Like that story is like Glen Hansard's story. I don't know if it was written about him, but it mirrors his life a lot.
Yeah.
So,
and
anyway,
since we're back to the film, I'll just say, look, this thing is shot with a very low budget.
Mm-hmm.
It was shot in like 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, I think. And you can tell there's a lot of scenes. If you look at it from a directing standpoint, you can feel like this has almost a guerrilla camera work to it. It doesn't take away from the film, though. It doesn't take away from the story at all.
I think it adds to it.
I think so too. It feels really personal.
It feels like he's documenting the life of this young guy as he's kind of falling for this young girl, which wasn't his goal. He just wanted to play his song is all he wanted to do. So, and
one last thing, this moment in the movie actually kind of hurt. There's a scene in the movie where he takes her for a ride on a motorcycle.
Oh.
And that was like, I was like, oh, this is devastating, because
that's how he died.
He actually died in a motorcycle crash. So seeing that, I was not prepared for that. I saw it a long time ago. I hadn't seen it recently. And watching it for that, I was like, oh, like that actually hurt,
And he died coming home from a bar. He was playing at a pub.
Really?
He was singing songs at a local pub. He went out every night and played. He just did it. It's what he did. It was his life, playing music.
Yeah.
And he was coming home from a pub there in Ireland and got into the berm a little bit, the loose dirt on the side of the road, and went down. That's what the news has reported me. But he was actually playing there's video online of him playing the last song he was playing before the pub closed.
Man.
Like, but anyway, we have a great legacy. He's left a great legacy, and
encourage you to check out the music if you haven't. Great artist, and you should see this. I think this movie is a great introduction to his music as well.
Yeah. So, I
encourage anybody to check the movie out. And then if you're into music, if you're into songwriting, songwriters, this is not a band. This is not like a pop artist thing. This is a singer songwriter. It's worth checking out and listening to.
Well, if you want, I mean, I can hit me up. I can give you a couple of songs that you definitely should. I can tell you right here, you should look up a song called "Falling Slowly."
Yeah,
that's from this one. That's fantastic. He has a song called "Bird of Sorrow" that when he plays it live, like I'll say this on public as a grown man, it brings a tear to my eye every time he plays it. It rips my soul out. Her Mercy is a great song. A Song of Good Hope.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them, but again, he's a very sentimental guy. So if you want something that's more upbeat, maybe not your thing, but if you want just good storytelling, good songwriting,
right,
you can't go wrong with anything Glen Hansard's put out. And you can look at his earlier band, The Frames. They were more of a hard rock band. That was before he got solo in the Swell season he did with Markéta.
That's with yeah, exactly. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. We definitely think you should see Once. We didn't even give it a rating. Andy, we should probably do that.
Yeah. Hold on.
You might as well leave yours up for me, I'm sure.
How's it at?
You need me to do it? There it is. I mean, it's a great movie.
This is a great movie.
It's a great film. And you should check it out. And you should let us know below if you know all the stuff I normally say. I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
You know the stuff, just do it. And we'll catch you on the next episode.
And yeah, if you want to talk about Glen, hit me up. I'll be happy to talk.
Andy knows a lot more about Glen than I do.
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of the guy.
So thanks, everyone.
This has been a Touch of Madness production, brought to you by the creative minds at Tommy Twins Media.